Hi there, welcome to Good Sithkeeping. In today's video, I am going to show you how I organized this mess. I have all of these Maniology plates. There's a few different other brands, but essentially I just have all these plates, and I bought these sleeves that are also Maniology brand, and I'm going to put all of the plates inside these sleeves. There are 6 pockets on each side of the sheet, so you can put 2 plates back to back on the front and back side of each sheet. And you can see here that they're pretty tight, so even though you'll get 12 on a sheet, it is going to be a little heavier and kind of hard to get one out later. You kind of have to manhandle it a little bit. But the sheets seem pretty durable, so I think for a long-term solution, this will work for me. My goal is to take all of these sheets, once I have them all filled up, and put them into this 3-ring binder. This one is from Mead. I believe it's 1.5 inch size rings, and it looks to be pretty typical and sturdy enough to hold the weight of all these sleeves. Additionally, I bought these clear sheet protectors so that I can make a catalog of my nail polish by putting the paper into the sheet protector and using each color to sort of stamp out each plate. It'll make more sense as we go through the video, but it'll be a cool little catalog so that you can visually see what is on each plate, because they can kind of be hard to see, you know. But ultimately, the goal here is to make all of this easier to see what I have, especially in terms of colors and plates. Here I am organizing all of the kind of plate themes that I have. You know, I have holiday themes, I have just different, cartoony things. And so I laid it all out this way, and that made it easier later when it came time to actually do the cataloging. Once I had the plates organized the way that I wanted to, I went back through one last time, made sure that's what I wanted, and then it was time to organize the nail polish. I chose to organize based on color and not finish or anything like that. So these pretty much just go in rainbow order, starting with the reds and ending with the browns and grays and such. So let's go ahead and get started. The idea is that each plate will correspond to a stamped version of it on the catalog sheet. Here I just did a quick test stamp on a test sheet, and now I'm going through and really trying to copy the images from the plate onto the sheet in the same format so that it looks like a color version of the stamp on the piece of paper. This whole thing was such a learning experience for me. I made a ton of mistakes, especially on this first sheet. I would not recommend doing your scraping on the catalog sheet itself, and I would not recommend cleaning your plate on the catalog sheet because it does make quite a bit of a mess. And I realized also using Q-tips was not an efficient way of doing the cleanup. So I kept having to go off screen to use nail polish remover to clean my plates. Honestly, this whole process is very tedious. It took a really, really long time for me to get through this. And you'll see I did make a lot of mistakes, especially on this first page. But also, the process of painting, transferring, stamping, cleaning the plate, over and over and over. In addition, I kept making mistakes. It really just made this whole process take forever. I do have a lot of plates and a lot of polish, and so for me, this took about 6 hours. I will not make you watch all of that. So let's go ahead and watch me finish up this page, and this is ultimately what the end goal is going to look like for each page. It should be a mirror image of the sheet of plates. That way, when you're looking at the catalog sheet and the plate sheet at the same time, you know what's on the opposing page. Also, I wrote out the names of each polish so that if there's one that I really liked, I could go find it easily. For those of you who do enjoy just watching something go from a blank sheet of paper to a pretty cool piece of, I guess it is art in its own way, I will just go ahead and play a couple minutes of that with some music so you don't have to listen to me talk the whole time. And then I'll come back and give you my final thoughts as well as, pros and cons to doing this method. Enjoy! The silver polish is really interesting because you can't see it when the light's hitting it directly here, but whenever I cross my arm over, you can see the shadow allows you to see the polish on the page. It's really cool, but not terribly helpful for cataloging. For the rest of the video, I'll just go over my thoughts on the pros and cons of doing it the way that I've done it here. Like I said, it is a terribly long process if you have a lot of plates to work with, and I assume you do if you're even considering organizing them in this way. The thing that I really like about doing it, and you'll see at the end when I have the finished product, is that it is a lot easier for me to find what I'm looking for. So when I think to myself, gosh, I thought I had one with snowflakes on it, now I have a page that is all holiday related, and so I can look for those specific things. So that is definitely one thing I really liked about it. The thing I do not like about doing it this way is that it is extremely time consuming, and it really destroyed my manicure. If you're going to do this, make sure that you're wearing rubber gloves so that you can protect your nails from the acetone as you're cleaning the plates in between, or don't have any fresh manicure on right now when you go to do this process. Another problem with doing it this way is that it really does take quite a bit of your resources. So I probably used half a bottle of my nail polish remover doing all of these. I was using cotton balls and Q-tips, so I used a lot of my cotton balls and Q-tips just cleaning plates in between. Additionally, this process completely destroyed my clear jelly stamper, so that will not be usable again. I'll show you some pictures at the end, and it'll kind of put it in perspective for you. I think when you are just normally stamping your nails, you're pretty gentle on your nails, I would say. Maybe I was a bit rough with this, but I had to throw away the stamper because all of the edges were chipping away and it was definitely starting to come off on the page as I was working. And since I am talking about the stamper, I will say the rectangular one that I'm using worked a lot better for this project than my round, kind of domed shape ones. Those would skew the image as I was trying to put them onto the flat paper, so I don't recommend that. If you are going to do this, try to get either this size of rectangular stamper or maybe even something a little bigger so you can pick up more at a time. Eventually I was able to get into a groove where I was able to pick up one image at a time and transfer it cleanly, and it fit perfectly on this rectangle stamper. But there are a few plates that I had that were one large image, and those were notably harder to transfer over to the paper in a way that made it look like that image. So that was a little bit more challenging for sure. This is the last sheet I'll show you. And you probably noticed throughout the process I did leave several blank sleeves, the little pockets there, and that's because either I had a couple plates that didn't fit an overall theme, or I'm expecting that I'll probably get some additional ones in the future, and that is why there's only 2 on this page, for example. So if you have made it this far in the video, I really appreciate it, and here is the final product. I tried to show you kind of what each sheet looked like. They're definitely not perfect, but I think for my needs, it did make it so that it's easier for me to kind of just flip to that page and say, yep, here are the prints that I'm looking for. And then I left space on the next page for a different theme here. And this page is just different types of prints. So, if you're doing this yourself, whatever theme you choose doesn't have to make sense to anybody else. It only has to make sense to you. And if you have done this before, please leave some comments below. Let me know what worked better for you, or if maybe this gave you some inspiration on how you can do it differently. I don't think that I will go back and redo this. As I get new plates and I get new polishes, I'll probably add to these existing pages, but This was such a beast of a project for me. I think I'll probably just keep maintaining this organization style for myself, but maybe if you guys have better ideas, maybe I can try that too. This doesn't always have to be me telling you the best way. I bet you guys have some great ideas too. I am always open to learning new tips and tricks and finding better ways to keep myself organized. If you have a ton of these types of projects or collections, and I mean, it doesn't even have to be nail polish plates. Maybe you have something else that's similar that you have to organize. Maybe this gave you some ideas of ways to do that. So we're all a great crafting community and nail art community, and I love helping each other out and giving each other inspiration. So I do hope you enjoyed this video. I have a couple more images here at the end just to show you my beat up nail stamper, but I hope you will like, comment, subscribe, and help me build up my channel and give me more ideas of things that I can put on this channel, videos of all these different things. And finally, I know I've been talking about it, so here's the big reveal. These are my hands after this process, and you can see my stamper and my nails were completely destroyed. So I hope you had a great time. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.